Now, I have to ask you about kind of the biggest boxing story of the past few weeks, as I'm sure you can imagine, was the late notice implosion of Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn's fight. I guess, first of all, when you first heard the news that the fight was in danger of not happening because of the test results, what was your initial reaction?
Well, I was deflated, really deflated, and it's not my business. But as a boxing fan, I was looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But then 4 months before that, when I said I was in Sheffield, I think I did do an interview with one of you guys, not you personally, but that was put on me about, what do I think about that fight? And I said, I'd love to see that fight, but I can't see it happening for the simple reason, the two weight differences between the two fighters. If I was training one fighter, I'd want my own way with the weight. If I was training the other fighter, I'd want my own way with the weight. And unless you're working up and close personal with them, it's difficult to, even from a distance, I just felt it wouldn't work. I mean, I don't know how they can make that match. But when the adverse finding come up, I was very, 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 very deflated myself as a boxing fan. Yeah.
Now, Ben's obviously shouldered a share of the flack for it not happening. He insists he's going to clear his name, and when we wait to see what happens with that. What a lot of people have criticised is the efforts made by the promoters involved to still try and push ahead with the fight despite the result, and not just the result, but it being made public by the Daily Mail. What did you make of that kind of 2 days in between before they finally cancelled it?
Well, do you know what, Dan? I'm not going to say what it is. I'm not even up to date with it all, but I know what you're saying. But remember, Dan, when these, I can only speak as I'm finding it, as I'm hearing it. But listen, when someone finds out that sort of information, one of the teams have got to be informed. Yeah. Then it's to do with the board, the VADA, I guess, VADA,
yeah,
and the two teams. So it's their business. So that, I can only say, I'm not speaking up for them because I'm not amongst them teams or that. But they've got to do their due diligence amongst themselves, for a while before they can see light at the end of the tunnel. But that's all I can say on that. So I don't know how long that would take before the press finds out about it, or should we know about it, or should we know about it as well as them teams? No, I don't think so. It's to do with them before. Obviously, the fight's going to take place, so we'll know what's happening. But so I just think that was a natural process. What would have happened in any scenario like that?
Yeah, I agree with you on that completely. I think it's more that when the public did find out, which was because of the Daily Mail broke the story, then they still were talking. I think Eddie Hearn was saying about taking the ball to court potentially to force the fight to happen and so on. Thankfully, it didn't happen because I think that would have been a bad look for boxing if it would have been forced to go ahead. But it was just some people criticised the efforts made to make it happen once everyone already knew.
Yeah, I can understand. I can understand what you just said for sure. And listen, I can't speak for anyone else, but I'm just saying I can understand that. But imagine the disappointing was for us fans, about for the people who've made investments and all of that. So maybe it was just like a spontaneous, just got to get this going sort of thing. I don't know, but the main thing is it never happens, and rightly so.
What do you tell your fighters about kind of supplements and the stuff they take? Because everyone's got a strength and conditioner now. You work with Sonny, obviously. People got their own nutritionists sometimes as well. Do you tell them, go with people you trust? Do you tell them you're responsible for everything that goes in your body, so you need to check it yourself? What's the advice you give your fighters about that sort of stuff?
Well, what it is, Dan, like as they go through the process, the system, yeah, and they're knocking on doors to title fights, yeah. what happens is the system and responsible coaches and teams, you know, build them. We build them, and you know the system builds them as well. You know what I mean? Because you know, all of a sudden they're fighting for a title, and they've got to enroll in a like a VADA or some, you know, they have drug tests, so to speak. So you know, we do our best to you know, to you know, to play the game, so to speak. But you know, my fighters, the fighters I've been involved with, you know, unless they're, you know, when they get very, very big, you know, other strength and conditioners come on board, and it's, you know, sometimes you're not happy with it, but you oversee it. But you know, you can't be living with, you know, living with your fighter 24/7. So you know, you can't keep whoever blows down their ear holes. You know, it's frustrating for us head coaches, very frustrating. But the fighter, you know, is responsible for who he's. You know, he can always. It's the fighter's responsibility to, you know, to have whoever's blowing or advising him. You know, they got to know. You know, I'm not too sure. I don't want to dig myself a hole here. So.
No, I understand.
But you know, the system builds you, and you should know better. Put it that way. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Good stuff.